Good morning, everyone. It's Monday morning, and there's been one good thing over the weekend. It's been a great weekend, by the way. Not that this one thing means it's been a bad weekend. Whoa. So they've moved on. Last week I had sprayed some expanding foam inside this hole here during a period of inactivity. And then within a couple of minutes, there were hundreds of wasps there, all trying to get inside, trying to rescue the queen. It was kind of macabre because a whole bunch of them came flocking over when the foam was still expanding and got trapped in it. And yeah, it wasn't the most humane sort of way to put down a nest because they were there for a couple of days. So the queen must have died in there and now they've all pissed off. There is another point where they're coming in through the walls, but that's, we'll see that later on. What's happening today? There's a few things that we need to get done. Keep working on the new packing area. We're gonna duck out a little bit later on and go grab some basing material for that little set of block terrain. This is great fun. I'll talk about this later on. I might do a few more of these sets here. This I did when Trent from Mistcast was here. He came to stay for a couple of days at the studio on the fold out couch. And while he was getting his hobby on, I thought, look, I just want something simple, something to fire up the juices. Some weird, block sort of stuff. Why don't you just polystyrene based up? So the plan, keep working on this stuff. I need to clear this area here behind me so I can do the floors, do the walls, and then this back area is ready to completely set up. So my plan for today is to try and move all this crap out of the way. So I've got all these old shelves, these metal shelves that, they're quite common, retail gondolas. Because we're slightly mad here, whenever we used to go to shows, we used to take all those shelves, like these ones down here, and set up a full retail shop that I've got in the packing. Gondola, like retail shelves that you'd find in a supermarket or something. We used to take all of this, hundreds of kilograms, tons of stuff with us, literally tons of metal shelves, and set up a full retail shop at all the conventions. I'm not doing that anymore. I don't know, 5 years or 6 years of that before COVID, 3 or 4 shows a year. Moving tons and tons of metal shelving and racking just to set up for a 1 or 2 day show. Not gonna happen anymore. So all this stuff, I probably just need to sell it. It's all in a little bit sort of crappy condition now. It's been used by the people I bought it from. It's been used by me. It's been bent, rusted. Honestly, I don't know how much it's gonna be worth trying to sell all that stuff, or if I just recycle it and just move on and keep, the momentum going. Because if I try and sell that stuff for a couple $100, it's just, I don't know. So the plan is to move it outside for the moment, just so it's out of the way. So we're gonna be doing that. We do have some orders, so I will have the machines on, cutting kits. They won't be processed until later on, as I've mentioned before. And then the second thing, a room we see little of. The mysterious library. So we don't come in here very often, but for a number of years now, this has had the remnants of the internal infrastructure for my software company. So there's a whole bunch of virtual servers and stuff here. When a couple of years ago we closed our data center, all of that stuff went offline, and that stuff in this room here, is the remnants, our internal remnants. So internal development environments, Exchange servers, mail exchange, Active Directory, development environments, all that stuff. We're just going to disconnect all of that, unplug all the cables, and then see if we can move some of that stuff today and start making some progress on that room. Well, this is just turning into a list of things that need to be done, right? And then I would also like to, down here in the casting room, because all of this needs to come out so we can do the floors and do the walls. This isn't going back in here anyway. All of the tools and all that sort of business will come out here into the main workshop. So this whole space here is going to be all workshop stuff. So workshop, spray booths, casting equipment, molding equipment, all the tools and stuff that you use in a workshop. So I can free up this room, which will become one of the little artist studios. This room? No, this is becoming my office. Plan changes. Sometimes daily. The plan is to get a whole bunch of these old molds that just don't get used, all packed up and stored in the container or outside on the shelves outside, so we can start clearing up that room to get it done. So it's basically just a bunch of moving around. My second hobby, as my wife and daughter call it. Every time I move stuff around, they're like, Dad, one of your hobbies is moving stuff around. And I've come to accept that. Maybe it is. Oh goodness me, I don't know if you can see up here. Can you see all the spider webs up there? They're just everywhere. Anyway, that's the plan. Moving clean, moving clean, moving clean. The priority though, the priority for this week is to get the new packing area, product storage, and that stuff done, which means this here is my priority, just shifting all this. I can't get sick. All right, before we start moving all this stuff around, we need to wake up the laser room. I like how these lasers have keys to fire them up. It's probably pretty loud down here. But that's all that stuff moved. We got noise from both sides. We got the lasers behind us here, and then the extractor out there. But that's everything moved from here now. Clear run out. I can open the door properly. But this is super filthy. Super filthy. And you know, there's been things stored behind here. Some 2mm white acrylic, which has now become all bent and warped. Some other random stuff here. This looks like 3mm white acrylic. Some sort of chain that's been there for a long time. And a water bottle with water in it. So there's cleaning and stuff to do, but first, now we're going to move all this acrylic. Thankfully this shelf full of foam is on wheels and we'll just slide around. But now we need to figure out where to move all that stuff. I need to go through the acrylics and sort them out. There's so much there that's not usable. Might give that away to some friends who have laser cutters and they can naff around with that stuff, but for me commercially it doesn't make sense to use it. It's too much prep work in terms of removing the protective material that's fused to the plastic. There we are. First job for the day done. Machines are running. It's time for a short break. Hopefully this focus is going to be alright. We'll have to get this barbecue fired up at some stage. Get a big spit roast on there. I was saying it's a challenge moving stuff and getting all that reno work done while at the same time trying to keep the machines running. You can see that Kong is finished. This is Kong. I was saying before I realized the camera wasn't recording that all our equipment is named after gorillas. That's Aldo. This is Kong. That's Caesar. Caesar's a bit unwell at the moment. I'll fix her later. Out the back was Harambe, who we met earlier. But both of these machines aren't doing anything. If the machines aren't doing anything, I can't keep ahead, or I can't catch up and then start getting ahead like we used to be. So that's a huge challenge, keeping these running while I'm out here trying to get all this stuff done. But we manage as best we can. Let's keep moving stuff. Alright, it's a little more quieter out here for a couple of seconds. Yeah, this purple acrylic is a beautiful colour, but it's just been around for so long, 6 or 7 years, that the protective backing is sort of fused to the plastic. And outside of using some of this stuff on the inside, it's no good for me. So I need to go through and sort all this out. My first job is just to get it all moved. I don't want to scratch the new floor. Can't find my other dolly. That's one shelf done. Still need to do the other one. But before I can put this shelf into place, I need to remove this compressed air line that runs along here. It comes out of the main system up here, runs along, comes down the wall, then this blue hose runs up through the ceiling and it's just zip tied in place, and it runs to the front of the building where the airbrush station used to be, and it needs to be removed. You can see it over here, comes down the wall, and there used to be the hobby station, or the spray booth used to be over there. Notice this camera, now that I've changed some settings on it, it pulses sometimes when it flickers, you know, like 60 hertz or 50 hertz. I don't know, maybe I should just use a proper camera. But there we go, we're getting there. The back section slowly opening up to be once again filled up with all the stuff from down there. But if I can get the rest of this space finished this week, you know, emptied, cleaned, painted, walls, floor, all of that done, that'll be a good achievement for this week. So we kick on. Right, we need a little peace and quiet for a little while. I've got enough stuff cut today. I'm getting tired of that noise. Right, the warehouse is so old. I have no idea what this pipe is or, you know, where it goes, but it's obviously been cut off. I don't know what this is either. There was a cable hanging down from here, an old coax cable. There's a little tip of it still up there, but that obviously runs all the way the length of the warehouse out to the front. You know, at some stage I'd like to remove all this old pipe work. A lot of it will be changed. You know, a lot of this stuff here, this is all high pressure air, and this will all be taken out and replaced. The one above it is the gas line. Obviously I can't do the gas line myself, so I need to get someone in to help me where I need to move, you know, heaters and stuff like that. Or on the other side of this wall is a spin caster, and there are the air lines and the gas lines. Air for the casting machine, gas for the furnace. But yeah, it's just not neat. You can see a cable hanging down there, just tied up. Look at that. It's almost like India. But there we go, initial clean all done. Now we got to go through and patch holes, in the floor too, like filling in these little holes. I don't know how deep that is, it's full of dirt. So we'll patch the holes in the floor. We'll patch up all these holes in the wall and fill in all these little gaps with a little bit of mortar. Then we'll clean up this. We'll run a new bead of silicone through there. This is an old PowerPoint which isn't connected anymore, you know, that can come out. So there we go. The space is clean. Well, the space is empty. It needs to be cleaned. So, initial sweep down and all that sort of stuff done. Now we need to start cleaning things properly. While we're here, this is what I was talking about earlier on a few episodes back. So there used to be a sink here, which is why there's holes in the wall, and you can see they've cut away part of the corner so they could have their sink up against the wall. But otherwise, this, it's not a cornice, a skirting. Thank you, Kim. This skirting here, in other places it was so badly cracked and damaged. Like this one's not too bad. Sort of, you see this cracking here, it was way worse than this. You know, you could pop things off of the wall. And so this one I'm not sure if I'll leave it here. It's a lot of work. I don't know what this pipe is here, so I don't really want to be jackhammering around here. I think that's just an old pipe that probably came out of the wall here at one stage. Yeah, this old pipe here, so we can probably cut this off, and it's obviously probably a waste pipe that went out to the drain here, and obviously at some stage was connected to something here. So I don't know what all this concrete work here is. I'm pretty sure it's just sitting in front of the brick. I could just jackhammer it all up and square off the edge. The only thing that I'm concerned about in terms of doing that is this lip here for the step. I'm thinking maybe I'll just cut it here and then just chisel off all of that. I'll leave the little lip on here. Oh God, I don't know. I say all this crap, but then the plan changes as soon as I start doing something. We'll cut here and we'll take that off. I think we'll take it off. That way I can have shelves all the way up against the wall properly, and you know, it'll match the rest of the warehouse. This is the only section now that has that skirting on it. You can see it's been removed on the other side and then badly patched by me. So I'm just chilling out at the airport here. We're in the airport waiting area for Trent from Miscast, who's popping in through Melbourne on his way out to Adepticon. Lucky man. We're gonna surprise him when he's bloody finally out of there, and I get the call and I can scoot around and pick him up. We'll see if we can grab him on camera. Look at that hair. This is the perfect wind for your hair, mate. How are you? Good to see you.